What's going on, good people? What's up? What's up? Welcome to the show. Welcome. Yes, I'm doing a night show. I know I normally do mornings, but I skipped this morning. I promised I was going to make it up, and I'm delivering on that problem. We're going to be talking about an article that Ray Alexander sent me. Now, the last time I accidentally talked about marriage, when I had Angry Man on, it turned into Marriage Week in the manosphere. We not doing that this time. But whenever Ray Alexander send me an article, I do like to cover it because he sends me really good articles. So I'm going to hop on that, going to cover that article, and we're going to get it. We're going to get it in. And more importantly, where in the hell is my intro? There it is. There it is. There it is. There it is. We about to get it in. We about to get it in. I do a little blabbing at the mouth sometimes before I play the intro, so bear with me. But let's get it. Let's go ahead and get it. Here we go. The intro will be shorter this time. Dang, I see a lot of people coming in here. Oh, Sister George, I did not know that you were live right now. Had no idea. I would never go live while you're live to interrupt your live. I would never do that. Anyway.
Peace, folks. This is X from TPOT Media. Open your mind and wake your black ass up. You know what time it is. Hit that damn like button as you make your way in the door. Grab a seat, settle in, get ready. It's the Grown Man Hour with your host, my man, Bernard Riley.
Told y'all we was doing a short intro today. I cut the something special happened today part out of the intro. I did that because it I can't exactly monetize. Well, I can monetize in terms of super chats, but can't exactly play ads during the stream when that's in there, because I can, but then eventually they're gonna get a little, not a copyright strike, but just a little claim saying I can't monetize, which really wasn't a big deal because you only make you make pennies for the little Google AdSense, the little commercials that play, you make pennies for that. But I'm going to give a shot at just to see how I work out when I don't do that. But anyway, and by the way, Sister George, I said at like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock today, or whatever time today that I was coming on at 8 o'clock. Ain't got nothing to do with you. Don't take it personal. Ain't about you. Ain't nobody come to see you, Otis. Don't be thinking I'm going live just to try to interrupt whatever y'all doing over there at the bus down. All right. What up? Silent Lamont in the building. Bernard looking like a black bartender at a segregated white country club. Damn. Shit. That's a good one. The Mac the Trucker in the building. Let me shout out everybody that made it in bright and early. We got 47 people in here. People pouring on in. I appreciate that. I didn't even tag nothing in the video. I be bullshitting. The Mac the Trucker in the building. What's going on? Perfect Storm said second. Mr. Negative the Negative Man said, aren't they all disingenuous? He's talking about the previous title. I said it was titled Disingenuous Arguments for Marriage. That's what I was going to title it. Then I opted not to go that controversial, even though that's really not controversial. I just opted to give a more objective title. Because there are some things in the article that's good that I'm going to go over, but there are some things in there that are, you know, I feel a bit disingenuous, but we're gonna hash all that out. We're gonna look at all of that. Jerome D, well, Body Thug in the building. Jerome D says hit those likes on the way in. Because this is an unorthodox show for me, I might drop the link early this time. I might do that because this is a little unorthodox, so I may do things a little unorthodoxed. Excalibur in the building. So I still don't know how to pronounce that. CDA God One. I don't know what to do with that C and C and that D at the beginning, but you know, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that the way that you want to do it. Damn, I just choked on my spit. That wasn't COVID. Don't worry, I'm good. Don't send the CDC after me. Just being jazzy. What's going on? First time seeing you in here. Hello. I will almost say good morning because I'm used to being on in the morning. My man New in the building. Already acknowledged that alien life form right there. Cool Gent 87 in the building. My man Silent already acknowledged him. I think that's gonna cover the early bird squad, but I got to make it down to right there. My man Perfect Storm came through with the first super chat. Appreciate that. He says saving my comments for after the show, paying in advance. Appreciate that. You be going ham in my comment section after the show. You be typing in the post-show comment section as if it's a live chat. You just be going off in the in the comment section after the fact. That should be funny. Prophet of Thought in the building. What's going on? I'd like to welcome everybody here. We should have a good one. Should have a good one for you today. My last show was a damn good one. Before I get into the topic here, while I'm pulling it up, I'll do a little recap of my last show because it was a damn good one. It was technical issues galore. I was very upset about that because it was some good information covered. It is well known, pretty much dogma, whether we're talking about men in this space, pro-black circles, or just anywhere. It's just conventional wisdom. Everyone says Barack ain't do nothing for black people. And I did want to challenge that claim, and I reached out to Black Torch, who came with it. He definitely came with it, and he brought receipts to show that no, actually Barack did do something for black people. But where a lot of black people get hung up is that there was no specific black agenda, no very specific black agenda. But to that I said there's no specific white agenda. When the white supremacists, as black people, particularly pro-blacks, tend to call them, they don't say this is the white agenda in the name of whiteness and in betterment of white people. No, the white supremacists, as you call them, they just pass their laws, their legislation. They put fine print in there. They do what they got to do, or they word it however they're going to word it. They make it public friendly. These are pro-black arguments. They make it public friendly, but the outcome of it is white people benefit a little more than everybody else. So when you look at what a lot of what Barack did, It was public friendly, but it's some evidence to show that black people benefit more than everybody else. But people get caught up looking at he made something he didn't care about no public friendly presentation when it came to gay people. He just said, God damn it, gay people deserve the right to get married, and that's what it is, bitches. Like he just put it out there. It is what it is, motherfucker. When it came to gay people. But he kind of like tiptoed, danced around I forgot the saying, tiptoeing around the tulips or whatever the hell, when it came to doing stuff for us. But the fact of the matter is, black unemployment did drop drastically under Barack Obama. He inherited it at 13. It went up to 16. And then it peaked so he inherited, after 2008. So 2009, 2010, it kept creeping up from 13 to 16. And then it literally, after then, once it went to 16, it started dropping, and it dropped all the way down to 7. And as I've been saying for the longest, when Donald Trump got inaugurated in January, I think the first time he addressed the nation, yes, it was in February. So it was 1 month later. And he bragged about how the unemployment was record low for blacks. The black unemployment rate was record low. As if his policies in 1 month made all that happen. No. So that was definitely a win for Obama. Black people got the worst health after Obamacare was passed. Yes, a lot of people got screwed over on Obamacare. However, there were millions of black people that didn't have insurance who were able to get insurance because of Obamacare. Something that we're doing the worst at. He worked on that. Didn't say this is a black health agenda. He called it something else. Made it for everybody. But the way it was set up in a way where ultimately black people were able to benefit from it. Wasn't specific for us, but we benefited from it. Saving the automotive industry. Black men benefited from that because most black men work blue collar jobs. So saving that automotive industry, even though you did that for everybody. Even made a lot of rich white people happy with that one because the rich people that own those industries. He made them happy. They definitely got their bailout. But you know what? It also saved and created a lot of jobs for black men who do blue collar work. He didn't call it the black agenda to put black men back to work, but the end result was black men got back to work. Shout out to Silent Lamont, how he said some white supremacist, I forgot his name, some white guy. I can't think of who it was, but he used to say something along the lines of, well, we used to be able to say nigger or this or that, but now we have to say lower taxes or this or that or blah, blah, blah. But the end result, black people end up getting hurt the most. So the black person in power, what do you think is going to be? He's going to call it I forgot what he called his healthcare. I've been calling it Obamacare for so long. What did he call it? The Affordable Care Act? I forgot what the hell he called it. He's going to call it Affordable Care Act, but it's going to be set up to where more black people can afford healthcare. He's going to call it just saving the automotive industry, but it's going to save more black jobs. He's going to, so whatever. I think y'all understand. No, y'all don't understand, because he said, stop capping for Obama, bro. He did nothing. All right, cool. No big deal. But no. Let's look at my last show. I dropped the link. So it's fun to look at. Does that mean we should vote for Biden? No. I want to make that very clear. I am not saying we need to go vote for Biden. But I am saying there are some things that we can look at where black people benefited under Obama. That's all I'm saying. It was fun. Yes, Black Torch had that Metro PCS dial up. He got to do better. Yes, he wanted the technocrats. He got to do better. Thank you for that super chat. Appreciate that. White folks begging Bush to get off of that ranch. What? Bernard, top 10 educated layman YouTube history, spoken as an EL. Okay. Yeah, Silent, tell him. Vote for Pedro. God damn it. No, but it was an interesting show. Cut it out, y'all. It was an interesting show. It did show how he did a lot of things that benefited black people. And that's it. It just was not called the pro-blackity black we black y'all agenda. But he did some things that benefited black people. And the receipts were shown, and that can be stood on. And that's that. That's that. That's what I'm gonna leave that there. I'm gonna leave that there. The receipts were shown. Now, now down to the business of today. We 16 minutes in, and I'm trying to find my email. All right, this is going to piss a lot of y'all off too. Even though we shouldn't get too pissed off about talking about what Obama did do, we shouldn't get pissed off about that. We should be able to just look at it and say, okay, yeah, that wasn't bad there, that wasn't bad there. But, you know, fuck them Democrats, still voting Trump. But, you know, I don't know why that's difficult to do. All right, here we go, and here it is. Nightline with Bernard Riley. You know what? I was about to drink this Mountain Dew Zero. This is Mountain Dew Zero. I'm not about to drink this for a very specific reason. Thanks for that super chat, Counselor Murray. Yeah, this is Mountain Dew Zero. It has a great taste of Mountain Dew, but 0 calories. But more artificial shit in there that's actually worse than regular Mountain Dew. But anyway, not about to drink that because I'm doing a night show, goddammit. And on a night show, I'm about to break out. Yeah, here we go. Doing a night show. So I'm gonna put some real drink in here real quick before we get started with this article. I'm gonna drop the link real soon. And y'all could almost put the top to the water on the goddamn Jack Daniels. And get a little something to sip on while we go over this goddamn marriage article. Go Bears? No. I don't even know who the fuck they playing. I don't even know who playing tonight. I hope Cam is back. Got all that, you know. Yeah, Honey Jack is the shit, man. Honey Jack is the shit. All right, let me get back on this article. All right. Where we at? This was sent to me by Ray Alexander. Whenever Ray Alexander send me something, I'm going to cover it. Because he sent me nice shit. It says, is indifference to marriage keeping black men at the bottom economically? Already that's enough to make you pause right there. Like, hold up. I hear you, David Monroe, saying there's some girls' whiskey, but I gotta have flavor, man. I ain't no alcoholic like that to where I just sit there and just smash just some nasty. I mean, I can't. When I was single and was out chasing pussy, I would just get a half pint typically a half pint. A half pint of something, didn't care what it was, and care what it tastes like. Just sit in the car right before I walk in the club and just gum, 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 gum. All right, done. And then just walk in there just with a little slight buzz, get like 1 or 2 while I'm in there, and then that was that. And I didn't give a fuck what it tasted like. But when I'm chilling, relaxing, drinking, then yeah, you know, I want it to taste like a little something. I wanted to have some flavor to it. I'll even mix it and put something else in it. Tank Johnson said he triggered already from this article. It's going to trigger you. It's going to trigger you. He says, would you discuss this topic on a live stream? I'm doing it now. Fuck it. Let's do it live. All right. Okay. It says, is indifference to marriage keeping black men. Let me read it right here. Okay. It says, yes, is indifference to marriage keeping black men at the bottom economically. Married men are healthier, wealthier, and have better sex lives than single men. Why aren't black men getting married? Ray Alexander. Hold up. I'm getting an on-air phone call. I'm going to let y'all ponder on that one. Why I answered his phone. All right. Sorry about that, fellas. That was semi-important. All right. Is indifference to marriage keeping black men at the bottom economically? Studies have shown that men who have tied the knot work harder, smarter, and are less likely to be fired. This is known as men's marriage premium. Your bank account will certainly see a difference after you tie the knot. Married men earn 10 to 40% more than single guys. Not only that, but the average 50-something married man accumulates 3 times as many assets than his unmarried peers. Take that, anti-marriage crowd. But no, real talk. Right now, now the reason that I started to name this disingenuous arguments for marriage is because the very simple fact that yes, men, not only do they tend to work more hours when they have more responsibilities, not only do they tend to do that, but moreover than that, I'll make this example right here. I had a cousin who he worked at a pizza place. Okay, started out at minimum wage. You know, when he was working that job, he wasn't thinking about getting married. He worked another bullshit job, wasn't thinking about getting married. Then all of a sudden he got hired in the plant, and just getting $20. Keep in mind, small town. So getting $20 an hour plus some overtime, that it put him in a position where he was thinking, he was making $50,000-$60,000 a year in small town. I'm telling you, like it's 3 bedrooms in a basement, 3 bedrooms in the basement, $700 rent. The property value low. Like you can live off 60 easy out here. You killing it off 60. He was ready to get married. Why? He was making more money and he felt like he could afford to do it. So you could extrapolate that, 10 times over. If for a man who made average money, below average money, then all of a sudden he finished school and he get an engineering degree, quite naturally. And it's something, whether we like it or not, it's in the nature of men. When we accomplish our goals, we do still, a lot of us, not all of us, but a lot of us want a family, want to have children, want to have a wife, want to have that whole so-called American dream, wife, house, picket fence, 2 kids, and a dog. A lot of men still want that. Men have always, wanted that when they accomplish certain goals. When they accomplish certain goals, that's what they want, and that's what they tend to do. If they haven't accomplished those goals and they're still just at the bottom, making enough to get by, they're not thinking about marriage. Marriage is the furthest thing from their mind. So I felt like out the gate, they're already making an argument that's not exactly grounded in reality. Now, they do make some good points in this article. Let's not get it twisted. But they're starting out making an argument that I shouldn't say it's not grounded in reality. It's just more so a natural cause and effect. You're going to be more likely to get married once you've made it to a certain place, a certain point in your life. You're more likely going to want to do that, Tank Johnson says, I do want it, just not in this environment. Scared to alpha your way through it, I see. You giving women ammo to call us broke if we don't want to get... Ooh. That's a good point. That is a good point. I will give you that, because that is exactly what the fuck they will do. They will look at the stats and say that when men get their money right, they're more likely to want to get married. A man doesn't want to get married. That's just because your money ain't right. Yeah. Good point. Good point. Azrael 6394 in the building. Almost done. What he said? I'm almost done with this school. In about 3 or 4 years, I'll make 6 figures regardless. Knowing the red pill, I still don't want to provide for women. Yeah, some men like that. And in keeping it real, in this modern day and age, with this deregulated, unregulated sexual marketplace, there's nothing wrong with a man saying, fuck it, I'm staying single. I'm staying single. I'm living my best life. I'm going to have, a woman here, a woman there, a little rotation here, maybe some droughts here and there. We all know droughts happen, but for the most part, you can live a happy single sex life. A lot of men do it. I did it for a little while. A lot of men do it, and there's not a damn thing wrong with it. New sent me shout out to New, sent me a $20 cash app for the anti-marriage fund. Man, I heard somebody saying facts, Keith. That mean Keith talking shit okay, somebody saying Keith preach. Okay, I see it. Keith preach. I mean Keith is in the chat talking big shit. Let me try to find it. I can't find it. There we go. Let me hear this bullshit. Not just playing. He's less likely to be fired because he's desperate to keep that job. Aha. Because he got handouts. Mouths to feed. That's where I disagree with you. I was with you, but I'm not going to call the kids handouts, man. Come on. Your heart colder than frozen salami. God damn. Calling the kids handouts? Shit. You got handouts. Mouths to feed. Jobs love married men because they know they can treat them like shit and they won't quit. Yep. But, well, not necessarily. Well, that's a factor in the equation. But it is true that men that got more handouts / wonderful, beautiful children that he loves. The fact that he has children and a family to take care of, he's more likely to work more hours, more likely to work harder, more likely to fight for the promotion, more likely to do this and do that. And that's why married men make more when all is said and done. they tend to go for it more. I don't want to give away too much of the article too soon because they're going to get into that. And then it's the perception thing, you know. It's the perception thing. The bosses view them as, you know, more important and more this and more that, you know. That's also a part of it too. All right, 51% of married men report being extremely satisfied with their sex lives. Uh-oh. I gotta do that SKC that. Uh-oh. Hold on, let me blow the article up so y'all won't think I'm making it up. Bernard, you about to pop the big question again? Yeah. Nobody about to trick me into making the same mistake twice. I'll just play. I'm divided on marriage. I've given my views on marriage, and I'll give my views before I wrap this thing up. I'll give my official views. I'll give my official views in a minute. In this market, marriage is a waste of time. Secondly, why would I give up my options to hear a fifth woman complain and move the goalposts for 10 to 20 years? What? Why would I give up my options to hear a fifth woman complain and move the goalposts for 10 to 20 years? I don't know what you mean by a fifth woman. I really don't know what you mean by a fifth woman. Dallas Cowboys in the building. How about them Cowboys? Speaking of the NFL, black quarterbacks have just taken that thing over. I think like half the teams got a black starting quarterback. I love it. I love it. Let me get into this article. I shouldn't even got y'all started. Okay, well, let me see the shit that they said. Hold on. 51% of married men report being extremely satisfied with their sex lives, compared to 39% of men who just live with their partner and 36% of single guys. Why? Greater intimacy comes with commitment of being with one person forever, researchers say. That's the part I find hard to believe. Okay. That's the part I find harder to believe. That's the part where I felt like they are coming with an agenda. You know, they could talk about facts, stats, and data and all of that good stuff. And you can't argue with facts, stats, and data, even though they can be explained, but you can't really argue with it. You know, you can explain it, you can put context on it. But the reason I think, okay, let's break this down into pieces, okay? Breaking what they said down into pieces. They said 30, let's see. Single men who don't live with a woman, excuse me, and 36% of single men report being 100% happy with their sex life. That part I could believe if they're talking about a single man that don't live with a woman. Now, I know it's easy for us to say, if you're on the more select side of the scale, to say, fuck that. I love my little rotation of 3 women. I take that over just having, one woman any day. But then there is a study that said between the age of 18 to 29, only I think 30%. Yeah, 30% of women. No, I'm sorry, 30% of men reported having no sex in the last year. So we do know how that goes. I think it was like 33%. So that's a thing out there that's going to, obviously, if you didn't get no sex, that's going to drop it down. And if you're just an occasional, infrequent sex getter, that's going to drop it down. So, you know, we talk about the 80-20 rule a lot, that 36% that's happy with it. That's sort of, you know, in the damn near in the ballpark of what we're talking about when we say the 80-20 rule. Quite naturally, it would make sense that it would be a percentage of single guys that a percentage of single guys that are getting on good and a percentage of that are not getting on, that aren't happy with their sex life. Now, the part that made no sense is the part where they said men who are married report having a more happier sex life than guys that just got a live-in girlfriend. Now, what makes sex with a live-in girlfriend better than sex with a wife? A wife who more or less got you by the balls and can tell you no, and you can't exactly say, well, you can get the fuck up out of here. That part, that's the part where I feel like they're being disingenuous. Now, I can't prove that they're lying. They made a claim. I can't prove that it's a lie. But I'm just trying to figure out, how is it that being in a marriage with a woman where y'all got kids, y'all got, you know, y'all probably got jobs, got careers, y'all got all kinds of distractions, you know, and a lot of women when they reach their I call it their relationship, when their relationship goals bucket list, when they get the husband, they get the house, the picket fence, the 2 kids, the dog, and all of that shit. Yes, they're going to be more likely, depending on how just horny they are for the guy they with. If they want to shut it down, they'll shut it down. They want to shut it down for a week, 2 weeks, a month, they can. It depends on the man and, you know, how alpha he is and all of that. I'll go ahead and throw that word out there. But the reality is, she's in position where she has full creative control to be a bitch. Now, granted, if you're a man and you running that shit right and you married the right chick, you know, like for example, if somebody asked me, well, I'm gonna pop the question. If me and my woman were to get married right now, we don't even live together, even though we had a trial run at living together during the quarantine, and it wasn't bad at all. So we had a trial run of seeing a little bit of what the married life would feel like. It happens to be the case with my woman that she enjoys having sex with me. Happens to be the case. I cannot imagine her getting to the point where she didn't want to have sex with me. But it is a thing where some wives get to a point where they don't want to have sex with their husband. And once she got her kids, her everything, kid, like I said, husband, kids, house, picket fence, and a damn dog and cat, whatever the fuck she got everything. Her relationship goals bucket list is complete. Yeah, that does happen. They will shut it down. It's a thing. So who's more likely to play that bullshit game? A wife whose relationship goals bucket list is complete, or a live-in girlfriend who you could put her shit out on the street while she had work? Not saying you should do that, guys. That would be rude. But you get the point. So that's why I feel like, that's why I don't understand how they're making that argument. I mean, I can't, you know, I'm not saying they're just making up data. I'm not going to just go as far to say they're lying. They just made that up. But it just does not sound plausible. It sounds like that would either be in favor of the guy that had a live-in girlfriend, or even, bare minimum, even. That's just me. That's where I'm at with it. Yeah, Mr. Negative Man is on the right track. Look up sexless marriages. Look up the sexless marriage rate. Yeah. It's a thing. Speaking of somebody I haven't mentioned in a while, not speaking of them, but just bringing up somebody I haven't mentioned. I haven't mentioned Derek Jackson in a while on here. There was a video that I played on this show, on this channel before, He was where a woman was talking about how long is too long to go without sex in a marriage, and he basically said, with a comment section of hundreds of thousands of women that was agreeing, that for whatever reason, a woman feels that, you know, she needs to withhold sex in that marriage. She's down. She's at her discretion, more or less. But then he did put in a caveat that, you know, if it goes, you know, 3 months, 6 months to a year without sex, okay, then there's a problem that needs to be addressed. But he talking about 90 days without sex in a marriage, like that, like. So yeah, they do have an apparatus that capes for that withholding sex stuff. Like, so it's a thing. And sexless marriages is a thing. So yeah, I found that part of it just hard to believe. He says white women use the illusion of love to get to your wallet. But all you niggas broke anyway. Not just playing. That'd be the counter argument, though. That black men shouldn't be worried about that. That be's the counter argument. Enemy Nation in the building. What's up and salute to you. Enjoyed you on my Obama show that I had. Where everybody said I was on some bullshit. I probably lost subscribers and everything. We're talking about our Lord and Master and Savior Barack Obama. Anyway, all right, back to the article. All right. They said greater intimacy comes. Hold on, let me yeah, I can read it up here. Well, not quite. I want to enlarge. It says greater intimacy comes with the commitment of being with one person forever, researchers allegedly say. Researchers say women are much more likely than men to make love a requirement for having sex. And studies show that men feel more sexually satisfied when they know their relationship is in it for the long haul. Now, they say women are much more likely to make love a requirement before having sex. I do believe that they're more likely, but I do believe that if it was a wide gap, they would have spoke to that gap. They didn't speak to that gap because I think it's a really small gap. And I think that gap can be represented and explained just by women not wanting to sound like sluts while answering questions in a study. Bernard Will Downing Riley. Shout out to Keith. D-Rock Dean in the building. Thanks for the super chat. Appreciate that. What did I say? So yeah, I don't buy the notion that I don't think it's a wide gap when they say that women are much more likely than men to make love a requirement before sex. We know that that's not true. We know that in this, I call it, a pussy riot, and many of us are looters in a pussy riot, have been looters in the pussy riot. We know that women don't require love or make love a requirement before having sex, even though I believe they are more likely than men to make it a requirement. But the fact that they didn't put the numbers in the study means that is more than likely a very small gap. And studies show men feel more sexually satisfied when they know their relationship is in it for the long haul. I don't know. I think men are more sexually satisfied if the woman that they're having sex with is sexually satisfying. I'm gonna say that again. I think men are more sexually satisfied if the woman that they're having sex with is more sexually satisfying. Now, if you got a sexually satisfying woman who's in it for the long haul, meaning she married you, and this woman is dropping it like it's hot in the bedroom better than anybody else, and then yeah, you will feel happy, especially if you're a regular guy who just don't got a rotation of 8s and 9s coming in and out your door. Then yeah, you get you a solid 7 who can put it down real good, and yeah, you will be happy. You will be happy. But I think the number one key factor that makes sex sexually satisfying for a man is if the woman is sexually to make a man sexually satisfied is if the woman is sexually satisfying, if she's good, if she looks good and does it good. I think that's putting it off. I think they're projecting what women think and feel, because that's often woman land. If a woman will feel, more freer during sex if she knows it's with a guy who's truly committed to her for the long haul. That happens. A lot of guys in this space say a woman will only get freaky like that. Oh, if she just really just view you as just alpha, or she just really turned on by you. No, it is the case that some women over time, once they get used to a guy in a committed relationship, then they will bring out the freaky shit. No matter how attracted she is to you, she ain't gonna do her nastiest shit on just a weekend fling. Like, no, I mean, she might, but some chicks do get freakier as the relationship gets longer, but I think they're projecting, because men, we ain't holding shit back. If it's pussy on the table, we pulling out all our tricks and stunts. So I think that make me question whether or not a woman wrote this and there's some projecting going on. It does make me question that. Super Triz in the building. What's up? Salute to Super Triz. All right. Where we at? All right. Men who stay married live 10 years longer than unmarried men, according to the brief. That's because having a supportive partner to keep an eye on your well-being can encourage you to take charge of your health, because we just stupid, dumb, mumbling men, and we don't know to go to the doctor. Let the woman tell us to. Okay. And because you have a companion, you always have a partner to make health-conscious decisions with. This type of support affects your mental health too. I do think it can be some mental health benefits as you're getting older and you got somebody by your side. Yeah, okay. I mean, I can rock with that. Almost twice as many married men reported being very happy with life than their single and cohabitating counterparts. I don't know. I think they're just trying to talk themselves out of suicide. So yes, I'm happy married. Yeah, not just playing. Possible. So it's a weird thing here, because I don't like to argue with stats and facts. And if it's okay, I knew this was Prager University, and this shows the bias in it too. Yeah, see that right there? Be a man, get married. That's what shout out to Zero. Well, a lot of people know white manosphere do this when they call them trad cons, traditional conservatives, or as the way Zero says it, traditional conservatives, or a lot of the traditional conservatives, Republicans, though, they feel like you're not a real man unless you Zero's wording. You ain't a real man unless you're taking care of a bitch. That's pretty much the rough way to explain it. But yeah, I see it right there in bold print. It says, "Be a man, get married." So I knew this without even knowing. I knew this was Prager University. Anyway, They are biased. They are biased. So this is bias, but it's interesting. It's interesting. I don't like to, I like to argue with facts. If they saying that married men take care of their health better than, or they live longer than non-married men, and they take care of their health better. I don't want to argue with that, but I just don't understand how it's the case. I figure whether or not a man is taking care of his health is dependent upon how health conscious he is. But if you're not health conscious, but you're married to somebody who's health conscious, I suppose that will de facto make you, inherit a health conscious mentality, I guess. I suppose that can make some sense. But it's contingent upon whether or not you marry a health conscious woman. And that's okay. Let me just stop the show for a second and say this. And this is where a lot of the arguments for marriage get weird. PragerU collective equals collective of trad cucks. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Trad cucks. That wasn't, that's not a word I use regularly. Thanks, Mr. Shane Vicious, for the super chat. Appreciate that. A lot of the arguments for marriage, like, okay, for example, and I'll talk about myself again, the woman that I'm with. Okay, we're not married. We don't even live. We lived together during the quarantine. Now we're not living together. It was just during the quarantine. We picked a house. We picked my house. She stayed here, and that was that for like 4 months or so. Then her job is she's back to work. So she went. She's back home and back working, and that's that. She's real smart. She has some Erica Williams in her in terms of her. She's smart. She never really had the I was about to say the balls or ovaries to take chances with it. She's starting to do it now. She's using her money to try to take some risk. She's starting to do that now. She's in that sense she's getting more like me, because I will take a risk. I will jump out there on a limb. I will buy a bunch of shit wholesale and just try to sell it. I will look at something and I'll use my money to invest in something and watch and see if it comes back. You see if I get a return on the investment. I do stuff like that. She never would do stuff like that, but she will research the shit out of something and know a business, know an idea, or she will know something inside out. She's hella smart. Now, I'm saying all that to say is that when they try to say that, oh yeah, you get married, you can build wealth with this person, it depends on if this person is a benefit in that area. If you marry an accountant or financial expert and you got an accountant or some kind of financial, professional in some way, shape, or form on your team, that's good. But if you just marry a chick that, I don't know, got a degree in social work and make 35 to 40K, she's not going to help you build no wealth. Now you can put your money with her money, but she ain't helping you build no wealth, so they say that. So that's part of the wealth building argument when it comes to marriage. It depends a lot on who you marry. Are you marrying somebody who's an asset to building wealth? That health conscious thing, the men, tend to have better health when they get married. Well, yes, if you marry a partner who's health conscious and you're not, she's going to, make sure that you get to the hospital. If I'm health conscious and I marry a chick that's not health conscious, I'm going to, in the long run, make sure that she's getting to the doctor a little more, that she's checking up on this a little more. So in that sense, I would be helping her. So it depends on who you marry. But I don't like when they make it seem like the default when you marry somebody is they're automatically going to help you financially. They're automatically going to help your health. That's why it's had the original title, Disingenuous Arguments for Marriage. No, it depends on who you marry. Not just signing the legally binding documents at the courthouse and then that's going to magically make you make more money. That's going to magically make you acquire more assets. That's going to magically make you live longer and be healthier. It doesn't work like that. grown man business in the building. He says there's a deep-rooted ratchet spirit in nearly all these broads, and they're not trading that for a husband unless he presents himself as an easily controlled slave. Get out of there. Get to the chopper. We hear that a lot of times when these conversations, when they get to talking. I recently heard a chick say that, oh yeah, I definitely want to be married if I don't have to work. When it was broken down that, oh no, you actually mathematically here, based off this, that, this, and that, yeah, you're going to have to work. And then getting the notion of getting married, didn't want to get married. They would rather be free and make their 40K before they get married to a man who makes decent money, not rich, but makes enough money to, to get to put some food on the table and pay the bills. Nope, they'd rather have their freedom. They'd rather have they little bullshit job and their freedom. Or if they got kids, they'll rather go ahead and get on assistance and work, part-time at Walmart and let, the government subsidize the rest of it. And that way they can have a freedom. They can go and do what they want to do, how they want to do it. They'd rather have a bullshit job and whatever assistants come up, they can come up with and be able to fuck what they want and fuck what they don't and don't give a damn and don't care. Yeah, that's true for a lot of them. Even the ones that are more thoughtful, you would think. It's a lot of that in women where because they can take care of themselves, they truly only want to get married. And well, let me rephrase that. They truly only want to stay married if it's a really good deal. And shout out to Obsidian because he talked about the data that shows that the marriage rate with upper middle class, I don't know where upper middle class start. I think upper middle class might start at like over 150,000. I have no idea where upper middle class starts. It's comfortably over 100,000. I do know that. Not 100% sure. I gotta look at it. That's a number I need to have right at the top of my head. But yeah, when women marry into the upper middle class, because that's getting into upper middle and upper class, the divorce rate is like down to 20%. Working class is like 80%. So they will get married, but they only want to stay married if it's a really sweet deal. And that says a lot about this unregulated, deregulated sex market where they feel like, hey, I can take care of myself. I can do what I want to do. I can make my own money. I got my own job. I'm making enough to get by. I don't have to listen to what no man got to say. That's a key thing. Okay, somebody said 120 and up. Thank you. Appreciate that. So 120 and up. A lot of them only want to stay married if it's a great deal. All right. After marrying, okay, why the marriage premium positively impacts men. Let's see. After marrying, men pursue a new identity as husbands and potential fathers, entailing an ethic of responsibility, sense of meaning and status, and in society. Now, there's truth in that, because even though Silent Lamont called them handouts, having a family, you're gonna have more work ethic. You got more responsibility. Sense of meaning and status in society. I think that an individual man can make that for himself, but I understand how having a wife and kids can do that. I think being a father to my sons, that does give me a sense of meaning. So I do understand where they're going with that one, definitely. But I think it's up to each individual man to find his own sense of meaning on his own, regardless of whether he has kids or marriage. Okay, married men are motivated to maximize their income and provide for their wife and children. Yes, that part is true. No argument there. But that speaks to why married men tend to make more, because they got people to take care of. They got more responsibilities. It's not just that being married, a hard-working, busting his ass driven man who's single is going to be a hard-working, busting his ass driven man while married. Whereas a dude who's kind of lazy and, getting by a little bit, he get those responsibilities, those responsibilities breathing hard on his back. Yeah, he's more likely to get his ass in gear. But is that a good argument? Get married so your ass can get in gear? I can't see that as a good argument for marriage. You know, you're unless the wife and kids is something that you absolutely wanted anyway, and you are already willing to work hard for it to take care of it, then yeah, then okay, that's great. But if you were working and you were stable and you were okay with the money that you were making, and I think somebody trying to sell to you, get married, it'll force you to make more money. No, I don't think that. I don't think that's a compelling argument. It just happens to be the case because we're men. That's in our nature. Men naturally provide. We naturally, we can't, we can't let the ship sink. So that's not an argument for marriage. That's just more so an acknowledgement of men and who we are and what we are. It's our job to not let the ship sink. Married or just a good father? I feel like that the sentences need a subject and a predicate. You only gave me one. I need both of them so I can map out what you're trying to say there. Married or just a good father? Thanks for the super chat. Appreciate the super chat. I don't really know what you're trying to say there. Maybe I said something in the article that you're responding to. Perhaps that. Maybe you're trying to say, does getting married or does being a good father but without being married inspire a man to strive for more like that? I think it can. And I say this just for this reason. I hate to use child support as an example, but I know when I was working, I was doing blue collar work. The men who worked a shitload of overtime were one or the other. They were either married men or they were, well, I was a divorcee, but I, had my kids. So so I was working hard because, I had responsibilities. And she was still getting my money, but that's another story. But the other guys that was banging out that overtime, getting in they 60, 65 hours a week is dudes who had child support. So they had to work 65 hours so they can get what would be a regular 40-hour check. They had to do 25 hours of overtime just so they can make regular ends meet. So yeah, you can be a hard-working, driven SOB at the job, even if you're not married because you got kids, because we are financially obligated, so there's that. So I think that's what you're getting at. I understand where you're coming from. Good question. What else they talking about here? Married men benefit from advice and encouragement from their wives. That's the one right there that really speaks to what I said before. I hate when they make arguments that make it seem like it is the natural, zero, steady state, default nature of a woman to give good wisdom, sage advice that just empowers and inspires a man. Like, no, you're going to get good wisdom and sage advice from the person you're married to if you marry a smart woman who's good at giving advice and good at encouraging. Every woman isn't that by default. So I hate when they make arguments that implies that most women are that. Now, the women that are that, then they're good at that, and they offer that as a marriage. And if you're in a marriage, and if you're a man who's considering marriage, you need to average that into the equation of, is this something that my wife, fiance, or potential wife, could this woman bring this to the table? Could she bring this into the marriage? Do I feel encouraged by this person? Some people marry people that is not encouraging at all. In fact, some people are discouraging. Some people are the exact opposite. So again, that depends. That's solely contingent upon that individual that you married. Abdul Jones, hey, Bernard, you do a night stream at same time as Bears game. Yeah, man. I sorry. But I don't really care about the Bears. They playing the Bucks, I hear. I haven't really watched a full Tom Brady game yet. I've seen them in bits and pieces. Laz Hokage, I think I got your name right this time. Probably didn't. Says the elephant in the room is, what does marriage offer black men who are already productive and single? Boom. Good question. Good question. Many of the women in our community are not a value add. Good question. What does marriage offer black men who are already productive and single? Yeah, I mean, that could depend. That would depend on who you marry, but yeah. Oh, Saladin El Rahim says my hometown Bucks. Okay. Go Bears. They are who we thought they were. All right. But yeah. I mean, that last thing that was said there, married men benefit from advice and encouragement. A man could legitimately say, hey, I don't need no encouragement. I don't need no advice. I don't need her business knowledge. I don't need her network. I don't need her none of that. And it comes down to what is that? Then now the only thing that you could say that a wife could offer you, she can bring her youth, her femininity, her beauty, and fertility, and all of that. But that's only really valuable if you want kids and a family. Other than that, you could stay single and have a parade of, well, depending on how select you are. I won't say a parade. I won't necessarily say everybody don't get a revolving door of women coming in and out, but you can get some. You can do okay. You can do okay. You can do okay and have some women, coming in and out from time to time. So if you're not looking for kids, you're not looking for a family, it's not that much of a reason to get married unless there's a such thing. Unless you find somebody who you really get along with, you really like, and she's offers a lot of those other things, if her money, her business acumen, if all of that is valuable to you and y'all could team up and be some big super couple and go conquer the world together, that's a thing. Some couples do that. But it depends on if that's what you want and that woman is that type of woman. What I don't like is when they try to make it seem like women marrying that woman by default turns her into that. That's what I don't like. That's where I feel like some bull is taking place. I thought the link would have been dropped by now. I'm taking forever getting through this damn thing. Marriage benefits men socially. Hold on, I don't even got it blown up. Let me see. Marriage benefits men socially and economically. So why are black men so hesitant to marry? God damn it. Marry these bitches. Not just playing. All right. Black men are the most unmarried group in America. In fact, black men have the highest ratio of men who have never married. According to Black Demographics, as of 2016, fully 52% of Black American men have never been married, whereas roughly 34% of non-Black men have never been married. And these are the epic stats that we've seen these stats before. These were the stats that made some Black female YouTubers. I'll even go ahead and say the name of the original person who put the argument out there that that Black women are married more because they're just widowed more. So I think she was adding that 8% to the 26% and was bumping Black women up to, yeah, she was adding that 8% to that 26% and was bumping Black women up to 34%. But I'm like, if you're gonna count the dead guy, I mean, if you're gonna count the widow as part of the married group, you got to count the dead guy in with the married men. I mean, with the married men. So it was just like, what's the hell is going on here with this bullshit argument? But anyway. What are consequences of being what are the consequences of being the most unmarried group of men in America? Lower earnings to support themselves and their children. But if you're not married and don't have children, then okay. Lower social currency as men. Social currency, that's a thing. That's a thing. Depends on if you care about that, though, especially for never married single fathers. Now that's yeah, you don't want to walk around looking like a baby daddy. I understand where they're going. Understand where they're going. You can choose to care or choose not to care, but I am glad I never fathered children outside of the context of a marriage. I am glad about that, but but there's that. But you can be single and not have children. Negative social image as bachelors, playboys, and rogues. I think that negative social image is gone, but as a lot of people have discussed, that there are places that you go if you're moving up the corporate ladder and all of that. You supposedly, I don't personally know that. I've never moved up the corporate ladder like that. That wasn't my life path. I didn't work in corporate America, so I don't know about that one, but that's what I hear, that moving up the corporate ladder, the marriage is you got to be married. They say that you and that's, it's data to support that. It's data to support that married men do get promoted more, do get raises more. They get bigger raises and promoted more. So there's that. But I can't say I'm 100% sold on everything, because I think that there's a lot of cart before the horse arguments being made here. A lot of cart before the horse arguments being made, because married men work harder and make more money. But they're doing it for a reason. But a hard working, driven individual left to his own devices, he's going to be hard working and driven. A guy who's mediocre in that area, he's going to, life is going to kick him in the nuts because he has a bigger, house note to pay. He has more shit to take care of. He has more mouths to feed. So he's going to be forced to work harder than what he would have. But I don't like when it gets sold as just the magical power of a wife is going to make a man make more money. But no, it's you're being forced to do it, so to speak. Which there's nothing wrong with that, because I mean, you got a family and you're a man. Like I said, we're men. We're men. We can't let the ship sink. That's so we got to do it. But I don't know. That's not really a selling point for marriage. Get married and you will be forced to work harder than what you would have anyway. I don't know if that's a good selling point. Okay, Mr. Heat with the super chat. He says, to answer why most American Black men don't marry, their ancestors already knew what slavery was. Goddamn. I ain't going that hard on it, but damn. Yeah, man, lower social currency. I don't call it Bernard Rally After Dark. I would like it if you didn't say that. Corporations going, yeah. Oh, yeah. Indifference to marriage keeping black men economically at the bottom. Here are the facts. Married men make a lot more money than single men. And I think we understand why. We think we explained why. In this national longitudinal survey of youth, married men made 44% extra even after controlling for education, experience, IQ, race, and number of children. How is this possible? Now that's good. I do give them credit for that, because if they took the time to control it for those key factors, because I was literally, and I mean literally, saying they are not controlling it for those factors. So controlling it for those factors, that matters. That matters a whole hell of a lot. That matters a whole hell of a lot. They say even after controlling for education, experience, IQ, that's an important one, even though we don't like it. I talk about that when black folks, but controlling for education, experience, IQ, race, and number of children, married men made 44% extra. Explanation: A, human capital. Marriage casually increases male income by making men more productive workers, by forcing them to work harder than what they would have anyway. But there's nothing wrong with men working hard and being productive. Like I said, it's our job to make sure that the ship don't sink. And if you want children anyway, you want a family anyway, you're going to work hard for that family when you got that family, and that is what it is. That's just part of the deal. That's just part of the deal with being men. It is what it is. So that's part of the deal. You're gonna work hard as a man. That's part of the deal. But that's not a selling point for marriage. that's the only part of it that I'm like, y'all getting kind of goofy if you are saying, be a man, get married, you make more money. Well, will you really have more money though? Will you really have more money? Will you really enjoy more money? You'll make more money. But so it's not really a selling point. It's a fact of reality, not necessarily something that I feel that they can, sell somebody on. You see what I'm saying? Grown man business in the building. Modern liberal black women perception of a good man depends entirely on her circumstances and what he can provide. Yes, a lot of that going on. Shout out to grown man business. I was watching you that. Well, I don't know if I super chatted you that night, but I know I was watching that night. I think that's the same night I super chatted you when you showed that picture of the men on your crew that you work with. It looked like I don't know if y'all was doing construction work. I don't know what y'all doing. I just know I like to see brothers out there in them dirty work clothes and the hard hats and all that, man. It was just, I saw that picture that you posted when you showed your crew and you showed your family, man, and all of that. Yeah, you was showing. Wait, I don't know if you showed that or if you said something about on. I don't know. I don't know. I went to your Instagram. I know I saw. I know you posted the picture on your channel when you was live, where you showed your crew that you work with. And yeah, and I was loving that pic. And I think I saw you checked out your Instagram, man. You got a beautiful family. I like to see that. When brothers like GMB, that's the like people. His situation is the argument for marriage, really. And it's the only argument. A man, a hardworking brother, running his family, got a patriarchal family, being led by a man, wife compliant, kids following his leadership. It's like that's how the world is supposed to work. That's how life's supposed to work. That is how we build better Black people. Is us building a better Black community that everybody wants to build. It has to take place with actual families. So shout out and salute to grown man business. Ricardo Rodney in the building. What's going on? Salute and shout out to you. Thank you for that. All right. What did it say? What do it say? They married men become 44% more productive. Because married men work more hours, work more overtime, and aspire to promotions. Hold on. What did it say? Yeah. And aspire to promotions to increase their income to support their wife and children. Duh. Explanation B, signaling. Marriage casually increases male income by changing employers' beliefs about worker productivity. See, that's what something that Nick Penn said in the chat. Is a lot of it is perception when it comes to married men, but it's not the perception. It is some reality to it too, as well. But that perception definitely helps. It could be a single man who's working just as hard, but that married man will be more likely to get that raise and or promotion. I mean, I remember Bill Maher made a really funny joke when he said that married men get so much preferential treatment at the job. They able to, they get the raises, they get to the promotions, but they also able to leave and take off and leave the job when they want to too. They're like, oh, go ahead, yeah, you can take off. You got your twins in the play. And he's like, Bill Maher's like, yeah, well, what about I got some twins in a jacuzzi right now that I'm trying to get to. Why can't I get off? So that's the thing. So married men do get treated better. He says, shout out to you, brother Bernard. Shout out to Cool Gent 87 in the building. Okay, what else we got going on? Let's do this. All right. Employers tend to view married men more favorably than single men. Employers perceive married men as more stable and committed than their single male peers. And as long as married men happen to be more productive and employers see their productivity, employers will rationally and profitably pay married men more. In a pure signaling story, marriage makes employers expect married men to be more productive. They're more or less saying it right there. They're more or less just flat out saying it what we more or less predicted from the start. Are Black men among the lowest male wage earners in the U.S. because they are also the least married? But just look at him. Don't he look so happy? Look at that smile. This reminds me of Nuruddin in them pictures when Nuruddin be like, but look at him. He's so happy. Look at him. He's happy. They're smiling. You see, they're smiling. But no, marriage is a wonderful thing when it works out. It is. Married men earn higher wages than single, or what am I saying? Married men earn higher wages than single or married women, and married men also earn higher wages than single men. Married men are at the top of the wage ladder. The St. Louis Federal Reserve plotted the income of workers with at least a high school diploma by age, gender, and marital status, and found that the wages of married men are higher than those of single men, married women, and single women. And that's true at every age from 24 to 64. The difference is most pronounced around age 45 when married men's earnings peak. All right. So there it is. Single men earn pretty much like women. So be a man and get married so you can make more money. Money. But yeah, that's more or less what that's showing. I really wish that that part right there was specific for black men. I would love to see that. But it's not surprising. It's not surprising for a couple reasons, okay? The men at let's look at age 20 to 22. Even when a man is making close to 30,000 at 20 to 22, which is good money at 20 to 22, he feels like he's more in position to get married. You know, they get married when they're that young. If they're making more money and getting married that young, obviously, it's based off everything that we just went over in the study, is going to, motivate them to keep going, keep striving, keep raising, keep elevating, and all of that. But the guy who wasn't necessarily that go-getter, that doesn't get married, he levels out at about the level that women level out. But again, how does that? Okay, it's a couple questions to be asked here. If women can make this amount of money right here, whether they're married or not, see, women married or not, they don't make more or less money. This is married women right here. This is single women right here. And you see, they end up making around, they end up making around the same either way. They're right at around the same either way. So if the single woman can be right here and making this amount of money right here, and she can be strong, independent, don't need no man, I don't necessarily see why this single man right here, unless he out serial impregnating, I don't see why that should be is that much of a problem that he's making the money right here. Is enough for her to live off of. It's enough for him to live off of, unless, of course, he got a bunch of babies. And that's why I wish this was a little more specific, because I would wonder if somebody, a guy who has kids but not married, if he falls somewhere in this range, right around in here. That would be interesting. But it is true. And I know this firsthand. Like, I told you, it was times when I was working 7 days a week on third shift. When I was married, working 7 days a week and work the third shift so I can be home with the kids during the day. I wanted to do it like that. I worked third shift just so it was a younger kid that was a younger one that I needed to be with during the day. And then I was able to be with get the other ones from school. She was trying to run a business that wasn't, really making that much money or no money. But I was like, just go chase your dreams. I got it. I was on slave. I hate to call it that. But I was on that mode where I'm about to just do everything. I don't need no sleep. I'm about to work all night, 7 days a week, be with the kids during the day. I was doing everything. I was all go, no quit. I was like a goddamn machine. And, when you got a family, sometimes you get inspired like that. So this does make sense. I just don't know if it's a selling point for marriage. Now it should be, and here's the catch. The catch is that even when a man is down at the bottom, shouldn't say down at the bottom, when he's at that lower level or whatever we calling it, when he's down here, and let's just say at some point, at around 32, 30 or whatever, he gets married. And then his trajectory, because they don't show this on the scale either, I would bet his trajectory jumps up to where he, gradually works his way somehow into into that upper territory, So yes, getting married, you will end up making more money. You may not have more money to spend, but you will end up making more money. What I don't necessarily like is that they're using it as a selling point for marriage. Work your ass off, make more money because you have more mouths to feed and more shit to take care of and more shit to pay for, and you have more shit. So go ahead, work your ass off, make more money, but you won't get to enjoy it. It's like that's not exactly a selling point. It's again a fact of reality because we're men and it's our job to not let the ship sink. Mr. Negative Man says, being single is super cheap. I was saving money when I only made minimum wage. Very possible. Married men are marked at stable, even though a divorce will destabilize your life. Yeah. Will destabilize your life. Yeah. All right. This article is short, but it's long to get through when you're giving commentary. Here's how much more money married men earn than everyone else. Here's the full breakdown of how much each group earns at different ages. The numbers provided by St. Louis Fed represent the wage and salary income of employed men and women with at least high school diploma. Single women, age 20, single men. Okay. Okay. All right. This is where it gets goofy and unnecessary. Okay, yes, a single woman, age 20, making 10,000. Okay, single man, age 20, making 13,000. A married man at age 20 making 27,000. But a man at age 20 would only get married if he could make close to 30,000. So of course he makes more than a single man, because what single man would get married if he's making only 13,000 a year? So it's like, if the men who are down to get married at 20 will only be among the ones, you have to take all the ones that make around 25 to 30,000. And of those who are down to get married, those will get married. But even those that are down to get married that are making below 15,000, they're just not going to get married until they make more money. That's why it's the cart before the horse disingenuous argument being made here. All right. This is almost over. I wasn't gonna drop the link. I got to take a quick pause. Hold on, got to go on mute for a second. Give me 1 second. All right, I'm back. I'm back. But yeah, we're seeing more of the same there. Y'all can see that. No need to read it out. That's a huge jump at 35, though. But again, men that make more money are more likely to get married, and men who get married are more likely to work their ass off to make more money. I'm speeding right through that. All right. So, in conclusion, trying to highlight the important part. Be a man, get married. And that was the moral of their story. Any questions? The link is in the chat, even though I almost went 2 hours. I could have just shut this son of a beach down. But y'all can come up and we can chop it up a little bit. We can chop it up for 30 minutes. I'm shutting it down at 10, just doing 2 hours. We can chit chat a little bit, just a little bit. If y'all want to come up, if nobody wants to come up, then we just can go ahead and call it. We can go ahead and call it, and I can go watch the rest of this Bears and Bucks game. But while I wait for y'all to come up, I'll just ramble a little bit about marriage. I know that the Black Manosphere is a no, I'm not going to say that. You can't call the Black Manosphere an anti-marriage space for 2 reasons. One, O'Shea could start. Well, first off, shout out to O'Shea. He got 100,000 subs. He hit his 100,000 today. He's not anti-marriage. I mean, I'm talking about just the founders of it. O'Shea is not anti-marriage. I think he said he will get married to a black woman. Angry Man is not anti-marriage. I think he showed pictures of rings, so he may get married soon. But he believes you should be in a live-in relationship with that woman for a long ass time, be engaged forever before you go and get married. So, and I don't knock that thought process at all. But in Obsidian talks a big deal about strong black families. And so if we just looking at Angry Man, O'Shea, and Obsidian, those are 3 people that are ingrained into the fabric of this thing, and they're not anti-marriage, even though Obsidian never got married. We know the reasons why. So there's that. So there's that. So I can't really say this is an anti-marriage space. All the problems that we talk about in the black community, most of the problems that we talk about, they started happening after marriage went down. So we're seeing the result of a lack of families. And like I said before, we're in the post-apocalyptic aftermath of what happened when there's a lack of families. So it's kind of hard to sit here and say that you're against marriage, because being against marriage is in a way is you're against families. So I'm pro families, but I'm very understanding of why men are gun shy about going down there signing those legally binding documents at the courthouse. But by men not doing that, that means there are going to be less marriages, which means that if there are families, they're off the record and hard to measure, and it just look like a bunch of baby mama, baby daddyism, and does more of the shit that we complain about. So that's the conundrum that we're in when we say that we're anti-marriage. Now, I will pick apart an article that's making a bunch of bullshit arguments in favor of marriage, or some cart before the horse arguments, but a serious discussion does need to be had about families. I'm pro men getting custody of their children. I've talked about that before. I've talked about a change.org petition that I will be not today. I will be dropping the link for that real soon, probably tomorrow. We'll see, or at least, yeah, we'll see. But I'm all about men having custody of the children, men raising children. If we want to see black men do better, we need more black men raising the children, fighting for custody after a divorce. That's what it's all about. We can't just rally the troops and say, "Hey, black men, do better." We know most of them was raised by women. We're trying to raise, matriarchal minded, trying to motivate matriarchal minded men to act like men that were raised by, strong fathers. That's a really difficult task. So that's the only argument for marriage. And I understand the counter argument that the percentage of them that end in divorce is like, why bother? But if there's going to be any argument for marriage, that's where that argument has to start and has to end. And that's that. But without further ado, I got a little panel piling up here. So we're going to bring some people on up. Let's see. How's that? Yeah, that's what I meant to do. There we go. All right.
Hello, can you hear me?
And we only got like 20 minutes to chop it up. Then I'm getting the hell up off of here. Mute up if you're not talking. I'm about to go to Enemy Nation first. What's up? What's up? Oh yeah, what's up? Salute to everybody. But Enemy Nation. Hey, somebody got noise. I think that ain't Enemy now. Oh yeah, that's Enemy Nation. You got noise, but go ahead and talk.
Is that feedback or what?
It's just like a little static.
Okay.
It's cool, but no. Well, when you're talking, I really can't hear it. So just go ahead and talk. But when you're not talking, mute up.
All right.
So you good?
Yeah. No, I'm married, man. And me and my wife dated for 6 years. So, and before we got married, I mean, really, probably the first year that we were dating, I knew that I wanted to marry her, but I wanted her to, because she's, younger than me, but I wanted her to have a career first. She's in the Air Force now. So, I owned my own business when we got married, so I think that the age makes a difference. I don't think men should even think about getting married if they don't have children before 30. But if you have children, if you're not going to get married, at least try to work things out with the, child's mother and be active in that child's life. If you're not, because the child support is going to drag you. Now, in terms of the divorce, marriage is not what it is on TV. There's ups and downs, and men have to be men sometimes. Men have to be a little softer on women and understand how to and understand the difference between men and women. And I think that a lot of men are just that haven't been taught that, especially by women. They tend to pick up these female traits if they were raised without a man in their life, and so they in a way resent women just like other women resent women. So they pick up these feminine traits, and so they treat women bad. The black woman is a cornerstone in our lives as the black race, and if we don't start to turn this trend, we're going to be in trouble, because black women are the fastest growing dynamic in the workforce, and as soon they're going to take all the jobs, and men are going to be broke and without a woman. So that's
black women are going to take all the jobs.
They're going to take all the high paying jobs because they're double minority, as this is the world has made it to be, or the country at least. They've made it black women the double minority. And so if they say a job says, okay, well, we can hire this black woman because she's not going to give us much shit as the black dude. And then on top of that, we can't be called racist or we can't be called sexist because we got a black woman on our board of directors or in our firm. See what I'm saying?
I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I mean, in taking the high paying jobs, I mean, yeah, if they had engineering degrees and got in there on some double minority shit, but a degree in social work gets you a degree in social work. You'll get a you get hired, but you'll make a social worker salary. You know.
Can I jump
Well,
in?
I'm just go ahead.
But yeah, that's what that'll come down to. I don't think they're gonna take all the high paying jobs. I think that, you know, when black women in the labor force is consistent with where most women are at in the labor force. So I mean, I don't think they're gonna run the table as far as that. But you know,
I'm just saying, as opposed to black men, you know, black women get hired at a faster rate than black men right now. So give it 10 to 15 years and see where we at.
Yeah, they like 71% of them are in the labor force, like 69% of us, something like that. Super Triz in the building. What's going on?
What's going on, Bernard? Long time.
Long time, absolutely. What's up?
Yeah, man. I'm the person that's I wouldn't say I'm against marriage, but I'm not necessarily a proponent of marriage per se. I think that you look at the actual benefits for a man. The question becomes: do the benefits outweigh the drawbacks and the risks? Every man that I've ever talked to, and I've talked to a lot of men in my life who are married, and the stuff that I hear is like a lot of generic stuff. And the men that are actually transparent, I find that they're not exactly enthusiastic about being married. So I really don't see that much of a compelling argument, especially in this particular climate. A lot of the arguments that I hear really are a testament to who the man is prior to being married. And I think that certain marriage is really more or less like a box to check off for men of a certain mindset. They feel like as though if that's something that is on their to-do list to accomplish. So like once they've accomplished certain things within their career, within their personal life, then marriage is just like a natural step for a lot of men. It's a natural progression of a relationship. And it's a testament for them, a testament of them being successful in interpersonal relationships with the significant other. So I think that those same men would probably be successful had they not been married. What I will say is that a monogamous relationship, whether you be married or not, something that has a level of consistency, as a man, it allows you to focus on other things.
That's true.
We don't realize as men how in the inordinate amount of time that we spend in pursuit of the opposite sex, things that we do towards pursuing the opposite sex, not necessarily directly, but also indirectly as well. And that really interferes with our productivity. And then goes to the argument the previous gentleman was making, enemy of the state, and he was referring to, you know, women taking jobs and things of that nature. But we have to realize that women don't have to necessarily. A woman can say, for instance, a woman wants to be successful and she wants to go to school and do all those things necessary to rise in a corporate ladder. She could focus 99% of her time on her scholastic endeavors, and then she could send out 10 texts at 3 a.m. when she's done, and she said, you know what, I got 20 minutes to spare. She could send out 10 texts and get 9 responses. A man does the same thing. He's not going to get that level of responses. So he got to start. What he got to do is he got to start prioritizing, pursuing women where women can, that could be secondary, tertiary, perhaps even quaternary on their list and still get the same, if not more sexual attention than a man. Their male counterparts. So it's easy for women to kind of focus on endeavors without compromising their sexual lives. So
what you just explained, that's precisely why, regardless of, I accept the data that says men cheat more than women, but I believe that I personally believe women cheat more than men for that reason right there. It's so easy. It's snap of a finger for them. They could do it. They don't. Men leave a trail of evidence trying to go chase some pussy. But anyway, Azrael 6394 in the building. He says, ask him if he has a gun to his head. We'll call the authorities for him. Black women have degrees in sociology and psych. How many black women are engineers? Yeah, okay, here's somebody talking about some OnlyFans. Yeah, get out of there, Azrael. No, He don't need to blink twice. It's enemy nation, not enemy of the state. I was calling him enemy lines last time he was on here. Got to get the brother name right. Mr. Heat in the building. What's going on? You got the flow. You got the mic.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. I just wanted to make 2 points. First, nothing worth having is as difficult to sell as marriage to black men or any men, really. So, kind of weird with that. Second point I wanted to make is marriage isn't the problem. We keep bringing up marriage, and I think it's just divorce. I mean, I don't see any man at the, well, actually, that's not true. Some men go to the altar and cry like bitches, but the ones usually crying during the proposal is the woman, and I think for one or two reasons. One, she's either not happy that she has to be locked down, or two, she's happy that she found a sucker. That's the only 2 points I want to make, but that's it. I'm out.
Bernard, I'm
Yeah.
back. If you call my name, because I stepped away from the phone.
Oh no, I can go to you right now. Actually, thanks, Mr. Heat. Abdul Jones in the building. He says Bears up 14-13 at half. Damn it. And,
Well, my thing.
hold on, Chaos. Ash L says, I never met a married man who was very happy. Look, that tends to be a reoccurring theme. Damn it. Somebody, I think, hold on, Chaos, I'm gonna push mute on you, then I'm gonna go to you. That's a reoccurring theme. Like with men that I've worked with, I rarely meet a married man who's just enthusiastically happy. I meet a lot of enthusiastically single men, enthusiastically single about being single and going to do single shit. I don't meet enthusiastically happy married men. The shit is always on the rocks. It's always shaky. It's always a problem. I mean, that's a thing too. That's a thing too. You don't meet too many men who are just enthusiastically happy about the shit. But yeah, thank you for the super chat, and I appreciate that. All right, go ahead, Chaos. You got the flow. You got the mic.
So the premise is to reveal, is marriage beneficial for black men in the 21st century? Is that what I'm getting at?
Yeah, what the article was specifically called is all right, is indifference to marriage keeping black men at the bottom economically? That is what the article was titled.
Well, the only thing that's keeping black men, if we want to consider in the bottom, is only black man himself. So either he decides to get married or not, that's still not relevant if what we're doing with the income we have, if more than half of us are in the middle class.
Yeah,
That's my stance.
more than half of us in the middle class. Well, okay, I think if you only count those that are working and the middle class starts at 40,000, I think half of us are in the middle class. I think it's something like that. But
to be honest with you, if that's middle class, then that means we broke. It's 40,000.
Well, it depends. Well, I mean, no, that varies city to city. But 40 you ain't killing it at 40. But I think that's the bottom of the middle. That's the bottom. That's the bottom barrier to be in middle class. But yeah.
But it's interesting they say that about us as black men. But when we find out just last year, and I think Mr. Samuels revealed this, that more non-blacks got married more than ever in over almost 50 or 60 years than to us. After the 60s, our marriage started to plummet, while they decided to get more married and try to find ways to attack it more. So I always focus on the other side. Why are these people still trying to fight for something that, from what we have discovered from little data we got, is a shitty deal? That I want to find out. That's one thing I'm more concerned. Because I hear in this space, you heard enough, Bernard, that marriage is a shitty deal.
Okay.
So if this shitty deal, why is other groups not following suit? But when it talks to us, is a problem. So it seems there's something more deeper to keeping us separate, either from our women or just in general in regards to this thing called marriage.
Yeah,
I look at the bigger picture, because if we're going to deal with the logic here, then that should apply across every board in America.
Yeah, Silent, I dropped that link for you. I dropped that link. Azrael 6394 said, I keep most married men in my prayers. God bless them. I dropped that link, Silent. You can come on up here. Yeah, men of other races, they still have, in America, they still got their gripes about marriage, but they do tend to do it more. So that
And to be honest, the reason why I'm bringing this up because I don't want nobody discouraged because at the end, a man's gonna do what he's gonna do anyway, Bernard. But I always focus say, I find it ironic when they talk about us and them. It's like a game being played here.
Who is us and who is them?
I don't like to be being played games.
Stop. Who is us and who is them? I mean, when you say
other groups of people in this country.
You mean other groups of people? You mean like if somebody does a study?
Not study, like in regards to the marriage piece, because studies are, that depends on what they're studying to put out as data in front of public. If you Google search, that's saying, what are these people? I don't like to use race, but I'm just using other terminologies that say, wait, you still want to get married? No, saying your wife could leave with half in this country, but you're still fighting on that. So I'm thinking, what is it that I don't get that you're trying to tell me not to do, or trying to persuade me differently? Even the most known people from the MGTOW side, like the Royal Tomasis, all these cats that got money, and they got big money, bro. They still entertain marriage.
The answer is easy.
I'm trying to understand this part. There's something.
It's easy answer. It's pretty easy.
Who said it's the easy answer?
The easy answer is they have a better product to choose from, man. Come on, man. Like the problem is nobody just wants to be brutally honest because don't nobody want to point the finger at women. I mean, that's really what it is, man. The answer is fucking simple. All of our women are twerking in the fucking street, and other men just have, it's not 117%. I mean, come on, man. Like it's almost as if we have the. Oh, I know you ain't shit too, bro. You good? But we hear these conversations like we're too stupid to see what's happening in front of us with our own eyes. I mean, we all live on the same fucking planet, bruh. This shit is not that fucking difficult. We just don't want to blame women. That's really it. Our women.
Man,
listen. This sounds like what?
It sounds like a leftist conversation of blame.
Well, you don't get that bullshit out of here with that internet talking points, man.
No, seriously. Men want to blame everybody but themselves.
Don't cut me off now.
Men left the black race down years ago.
Fuck off. God damn it.
Oh, it is silent turn. It is silent turn. Go ahead.
But I'm a leftist. Like, I don't do those little internet fucking talking points. That shit's so frustrating. Leftists and liberals and we're two people having a fucking conversation. Like, there's no way that people talk like that to each other when they're sitting around playing poker. Leftists this and Democrats that, and every fucking conversation ain't about goddamn politics, man. But
you're right about that, Keith. You're right about it, Keith. We don't talk about politics in
What?
I say you're right. No, when we sit down, we don't really have these conversations about leftists and all this nonsense.
No, I'm saying that's not how people talk. That's how people talk on the internet. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's true. I get what you're saying.
But at the end of the day, we have an inferior product to work with. I mean, people are making a value judgment. All right, people aren't stupid. All right, people are looking at the cost benefit. That's what men do. If it's to our benefit, you don't have to sell us that fucking hard on it. At the end of the day, if you fix the women, because men naturally want, obviously, especially black men who are the biggest, dudes in the stepdaddy game. So obviously, black men are the most altruistic of all men. All right. Obviously, black men are the most selfless of all men. We accept more bullshit than any other fucking man. So if the only solution is just keep fucking chopping your dick off until you have no dick left, and then she's like, come on, man, you gotta fix the fucking women. That's the fucking solution. Any other answer other than that is just bullshit. We're just not being honest, man.
Well, yeah, I mean, I can work with your argument if we're just talking about why men don't want to get married. It's saying if it was more marriageable women, men would more likely be willing to get married. That's what you're saying.
Boom. You got all these women, 35 years. Listen to the females calling Kevin show. All on the surface talking all that nice, juicy shit on the, yeah, I want to get married. But you ask 5 questions and really she want a sugar daddy that she could rob and divorce. All these fucking bras out here, all these dudes out here feeling insecure about these females because they nose up in the air, got all this debt. You add 5 questions, they act like they ball and making fucking payments on Daewoo's and shit, but acting like they shit don't stink, bruh. I mean, come on, man. These women are getting married. They're getting men who are making more money, are in better shape than they are, and they're leaving these fucking dudes. It's almost as if the 90s didn't happen, where all these children that of parents who were married, women weren't just divorcing their fucking husbands and taking all their shit and taking the kids.
Well,
you remember those 90s kids grew up seeing that shit.
Well, you made a good point when you talked about that. And when you mentioned Kevin Samuels and that 80% women filing 80% of the divorces, even he argued on his show, if it was something that just made it to where it was harder to where women, he said the black marital rate would be probably through the roof if black women couldn't file for a divorce, if they got married and had to stay married. Because men are not opting out of it. So,
but you understand, Bernard, it was intended to do that because they know who's gonna marry or who's gonna divorce the most, depending on the
say that again
in this country, and it's proven for the last almost 45 years.
All right, Tank Johnson, thanks for that cash app. I appreciate that. Came through the cash app. Mr. in the building. He says, "Hey Bernard, when you gonna do a one with Keith Lamont?" I keep forgetting to send. Damn it. When you want to do that, Silent?
Fuck, you tell me, man. We'll set something up.
Saturday.
Done. Maybe a little bit Saturday evening. I got about an hour or so, hour or two.
God damn it! You messing with them white girls all night, and then you can't wake up because you're here talking all this shit. All this shit about black women and hung over off white girls. Okay. Anyway,
I'm the Jocelyn whisperer.
If you do a show, Bernard, what's the subject that you want to cover?
With Silent?
Yeah.
I
think this is the first time ever one-on-one with him.
Yep, he got to tell us. He got to tell us how he went from.
I think Cash just wanted to fucking know about my life, man. Fucking.
Yeah, that's what I say. That's what it's gonna be. You're gonna have to tell us how you went from being a foster, from being a foster care. I'm getting the terminology wrong. Yeah, from being an orphan to being rich. Let us know. Whole damn story, beginning to end.
Beginning to end.
All right. Azrael 6394 says dress size, weight, height, max out. Well, Kevin, I left my husband because I was tired of him leaving the toilet seat up, so I had to level up. Yeah, man. They be clowning over on Kevin actually on right now.
Well, Bernard, I know you're not gonna stay here long. Thanks for having me up. I'm gonna jump down and then probably tune into another stream, see what.
All right, I'll let Super Triz and Enemy Nation get something in. Y'all make it. Cause I'm supposed to be off right at 10 because I got shit I need to do. So go ahead, Enemy Nation. Try to make it as brief as possible.
Yeah, let me get into this real quick.
You got to be brief, though. I know you long-winded, so you got to be brief, man. I'm trying to get out.
Yeah, first of all, marriage is politics. You know what I mean? People get married not just for love, not just for having kids, but they also get married to make an alliance. And I'd like to know how old most of these people are that are saying that are against marriage. You know what I mean? Like if you're 20-something years old, you haven't hit 35 yet, then honestly, the marriage conversation shouldn't even be in your repertoire unless you have children. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like a silly conversation.
Actually, I disagree, brother, because actually it shows that the
of
more
you are.
Y'all are childish as fuck. But like I'm talking to 4-year-olds. But But anyway, so facts actually show the longer that a man waits to get married, the less likely he is to get married. You gotta get a man when he's naive, bro. Like, I mean, that is it. If a man waits to after 30 to get fucking married, he's really unlikely to get married.
It's like getting them to believe in Santa Claus. You got to catch them early.
Yeah,
like
he doesn't seen too much.
like cigarettes too, you gotta get them, gotta hook them young on the cigarette.
Hook them young, man. Get them smoking them little candy cigarettes.
Let's just be honest, man. Dudes just wanna sleep around. You know what I mean? That's what it is.
Y'all niggas sound like women, bro. Dudes are the ones who want to have relationships early. It's the women who don't want to have relationships early. It's the men who are out here.
Hold on, check it out, Enemy Nation. It is true that there is a percentage of men that not only just want to sleep around, but have the luxury of being able to sleep around. Every guy ain't got it like that. Like,
and that is a small percentage of men.
I talked about the data at the beginning of the show that 33% of men between the age of 18 and 30 reported having no sex in the last year. So it's like there's available men. Damn, somebody got background noise bad. Hold
on, I got the radio. Hold on.
Like when women say all men are dogs and this or that or blah, 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 I guarantee every time they say that, it's like 50% of men are just sitting there like, hey, over here, I ain't got no pussy in a long ass time. They're like, so no, every dude ain't just sleeping around like that. I mean, that's just not the case.
That's not the point that I was making.
But the point when you say dudes just want to sleep around, like, I mean, I don't like when silent saying sound like a woman or whatever, but that's the argument that women make, because what they're really saying is the dudes that they really, really want have the luxury to sleep around and don't have to be committed, because there's 8 of y'all lining up to suck his dick. So why would he commit to one of y'all?
No.
There's an old saying, Bernard, that a man doesn't work to get a 6-pack just to fuck one woman.
Yeah.
No. I was just saying that the sleeping around thing. I'm saying the guys that are anti-marriage, that's what they want, and that's in their prerogative. Not everybody's. It's just like the money thing. Not everybody values money like you would value money. Not everybody going to value marriage like you would value, or I would value marriage. Not everybody's going to value any number of things the way that you would value it. But what I'm saying is that if you're talking about women don't want to get married, or women want to take advantage of guys, to me, that's a cop-out, because there are plenty of women, just like there are plenty of men that are good men, there are good women, and it's just
Man, that is just such a canned argument, though. It's just such a canned argument.
See how he's attacking me, but then he caught me challenged.
I'm not attacking you. I wasn't attacking you.
We're gonna leave it there.
I'm disagreeing, brother. I said it's a canned argument. It's a canned argument. I wasn't attacking him, brother. That's what I mean by that is what I talk about. I wasn't attacking you. I was disagreeing, and I'm saying that argument is canned.
We got you.
These dudes just don't want to get married because.
All right. We're gonna go to Super Triz. We're gonna let Super Triz have the last level-headed and peaceful words, and we gonna get up out of here on a good note. Go ahead, Super Triz. You got it.
All right, thank you, Bernard, for having me. Shout out to you, Keith Lamont.
What's good, bro?
At any rate, yeah, man. At any rate, I think that one of the flawed premise that we consistently hear, and this is something that's been going on for many generations. We have a habit of saying "our women," and there's a YouTuber.
Keep going.
Yeah, I'm about to set it off. There's a YouTuber who consistently references a dominated demographic of men. Now, if you are in a particular demographic of men, and you feel as though if only a certain specific subset of women are accessible to you, that in itself is a dominated mentality. As a man, you have access to whatever group of women you want, and if you actually partake of women outside of your particular group, that's an exertion of dominance. So the men that actually access all the other women, these are the men that are dominating. That's just one manifestation. Obviously, there are other metrics involved, but if you limit yourself to saying that I'm only going to be with this particular group of women because the environment compels me to do so. Now, if you have a specific proclivity for a certain group of women and you're sexually attracted only to a specific group of women, which I find that kind of hard to believe, but it's possible, then by all means, limit yourself. But for men like myself, I have access to whatever women I want. So because of that, I will never be limited by saying, "Oh, well, there's limited choosings of a particular." No. There's not limited anything. Now, that's not to say that other groups of women don't have their flaws too, because they believe me, they do. I know from experience. But I say cast a wider net, and I'm gonna leave it at that, Bernard.
All right,
And I'm gonna piggyback that. Can I piggyback real quick?
Go, mate, man. You got 10 seconds, man. 10 seconds.
All right, too easy. So everybody knows the world over that successful men that had their shit together travel around the world and fuck strange women. That's what fucking men do. Every fucking man on the universe. So this whole notion that you just stay in Gary, Indiana, fucking Lakeisha, that's bullshit. Successful men travel around the world. They go to Europe, they party, they sleep with women, they backpack and get into adventures, man. That's the defeatist mindset that you just only belong to. Men fuck puss. Men have sex with multiple women, different women. That's what men do. And these gynocentric ass men are trying to treat you like a bitch. They looking at you through a bitch's eyes, bro. Get out there and get your dick wet with different colors of women, man.
I said we was having some There was supposed to be level-headed words on the way out the door.
Oh, damn, my bad.
All right. And y'all know where I'm at with it. I agree that, man, life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. That's where I'm at with it. When I was single, I was messing with all women. I'm in a relationship now. A black woman just so happened to be the one that won the race, but I was messing with all races of women, and it is what it is.
These niggas talking about dominating with their dick in a jar.
I've been there and done that, bro.
All right, yeah, we getting out of here. We getting out of here for y'all. Set this thing.
All right, people.
All right, peace.